In a previous video, I said to plan your distraction. So instead of using social media like here and there, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, just plan 2 hours of social media. For example, every evening, just 2 hours. Do whatever you want, scroll, send messages, post, reply to people, you can do whatever you want. I also said that when you spend 2 hours on social media, or you now reserve 2 hours to use social media, then soon you will find that, you're bored, like you should be doing something else. It's very confrontational because now you really see yourself wasting your time. It's not like you're multitasking and you're listening to a lecture or you're watching a movie and you go for your phone because there's a voice that tells you, well, you're watching a movie, you are listening to a lecture, like you're doing something. But just for a few moments, I will just use my phone. But when you don't multitask, when you just focus on social media for 2 hours, then especially when you have responsibilities, you have ambitions, you're working on a business or you're working on a project, you're studying, then it's really hard to ignore that voice in your head that says, what are you doing? Why are you spending 2 hours on social media? And that's that moment of confrontation. That's the moment that you want to remember, because now you're honest with yourself, you're exposed. You cannot hide from the fact that you're on social media. Again, it's not like you're multitasking and you use social media and you're kind of like hiding behind the activity because you're doing something else. No, now you're on social media, and that feeling is what you want to remember, because it's going to help you to disconnect from social media, at least for that day. If you use instant messaging apps for a particular reason, because you have to engage in a conversation with someone, you're talking to someone, fair play, there are always exceptions. At the end of the day, these are not rules, these are all strategies, and you can just modify these strategies as you please, as you like them to see in your life. But another thing you want to do is when you use a laptop, of course you're going to use the browser version, but then log out and then delete passwords, browser data, and history. Just that small step. So your browser is not going to remember that you logged in the first place. Just a small step that you want to introduce, just that little bit of friction. Also, what you can do is use the alarm option of your phone or the timer of your phone. It's up to you if you want to use the alarm to tell you, okay, you have now 2 hours to be on social media, or that you set the alarm for an activity that is not connected to social media, like something else, and then that alarm is going to remind you, okay, now you can be on social media. Like, I'm now making sound, I'm making noise now, because whatever it is that you're doing, you can stop, so you can now distract yourself. Just use social media as you please. So for this video, I just want to add the tips to use a browser version, to delete passwords, browser data, and history, and also use a timer or an alarm. It doesn't need to be an alarm of your phone, it could be also like a kitchen alarm, but use an alarm or a timer, so you are going to really stick to those 2 hours. You're not going to be stressed that, I have 2 hours, do I have 2 hours left, do I have 1 hour left, how many minutes do I have left? Use a timer, alarm, so you know that there's going to be an external signal that's going to remind you that the 2 hours are up. But again, with social media, you're probably not going to finish those 2 hours, or if you do, you're really going to feel bad about it, because probably you wasted a lot of time and you're just super conscious about it because you didn't do anything else except from scrolling and posting. So hopefully you're going to remember the feeling of that frustration that you felt by just using social media so much.